I thought his fifth one was going to be make sure that you root for the New Orleans Saints, but he didn't say it. Don't talk bad about the Saints. Stop. Okay, good evening. I'm Irene Sanders. I'm the Executive Director of Student Leadership. Thank you. I always make it a point of never speaking at graduation. It's the time for these young people to shine. It's not about me. But tonight, we are pleased to honor our former mayor, Mike Bodker, with a legacy scholarship named for him, which is being presented to not one, but two of our graduating class of 2022 members for the first time ever. 16 years is a really long time. Most of these kids here tonight were probably in diapers when Mayor Bodker was voted in as mayor of this fine city. His journey as our mayor was much like many of you and your children, seeing the birth of a new city with all wide-eyed hopes, dreams, and optimism for what lies ahead. Mayor Bodker worked hard to fulfill those hopes and dreams, faithfully serving this city for 16 years. And what a city we've become. When the idea of the Michael E. Bodker Leadership Award struck me, I approached two people, one being Liz Hausman, our Fulton County Commissioner, who was on board immediately with financial support from Fulton County, and an anonymous leader in our community jumped at the chance to honor our former mayor. Within minutes, I had the $1,000 I needed for the scholarship from just two donors. Within days, Anthony Shorter, who was a candidate for city council and currently serves on the Johns Creek Parks and Recreation Board, loved the idea so much that he too wanted to make it possible for two of our students to receive this prestigious scholarship. And now I have a list of community leaders who want to financially contribute to make this scholarship a reality each and every year going forward, a true legacy to our former mayor. The students were asked to write an essay answering several questions about their leadership journey. We developed a rubric and recruited judges with extensive careers in education who did not know any of the students. This was a really tough decision for our judges. I was so happy it wasn't on my shoulders to make the choice. All of our students are amazing and deserving, but we had to narrow it down to these two winners. So thank you to Michael E. Bodker for joining us this evening to present these awards to the first ever recipients of the Michael E. Bodker Leadership Award. And you get a present.
And I appreciate it because Irene, so they told me when I left City Hall that there were certain things I was allowed to take and certain things I wasn't allowed to take. The pictures that I got every year was something I wasn't allowed to take. And Mayor, thank you so much for displaying them because they're in their proper home. But Irene, we need to make some copies because I really do want them.
I'm happy to.
Let's give Irene one more round of applause. And I guess I should start off by saying to Irene, thank you so much. My work for those 16 years was a labor of love, but this is amazing. You know, as I've watched these student leaders over these years, I borrowed a phrase a number of years ago, and that was that the youth of Johns Creek do not represent 100% of our population, but they do represent 100% of our future. I don't know how anyone sitting in this room could not be amazed and very heartened by what you've seen. For whatever leadership I displayed in my 15 years, it's 15 years and 1 month, which is why they say 16 years. I described it to an elementary class one day when they said, you know, how did you become a leader? I said to them, I'm not a leader. What I was the frog in the pot. And if you know the story about a frog in a pot, if you throw a frog in a pot of boiling water, the frog is smart enough to jump out and lives. I'm the one that died. I was the one they put in the pot of water while it was nice and warm and comfy, and I was swimming around and they just kept turning up the heat. So that's how I became a leader. But to see this formal program, this amazing program, and all of the leaders it has now turned out, truly, truly amazing. So 2 of those student leaders will receive this year's, the first of many. And I told Irene that one of the things that I plan to do is raise lots of money for this and ensure that the scholarships get bigger and bigger. So I apologize in advance to these 2 because you'll probably get the smallest checks. But it's not the check, it's the fact that you have proven yourself. I had the opportunity to read the essays and see the information that was submitted by each of these. I know them, they are impressive, as is every single one of the youth that have come through this. But the first Bodker Leadership Award winner is Aesha Shah. Hang on.
Back on the other side. Thank you so much.
The most important part. Congratulations. Spend it well. You actually wrote how you're spending it, so I know what you're doing with it. Well, I learned something else while I was mayor. We're kind of a diverse community. Have you noticed that? I learned that as a white male who didn't grow up with such diversity, it was really difficult to pronounce some of these names. And so what I used to do is I used to say the first name, assuming I could get that right, and then I let them say their last name. I've known this young lady for quite a while. I've been impressed by her throughout her process. We've seen her just a few minutes ago, and I'm still gonna let her say her last name because I couldn't get it right after knowing her all this time. But our second Bodker Leadership Award winner is Anastacia. One more.